Guys. All right, day 20 of our daily health habits challenge. So today the topic is set realistic goals. So today I'm going to tell you guys and kind of show you a little bit about goal setting and how we make goals every single day and how we can kind of make a little bit, we can start to make these bigger goals and how to achieve them is what we're going to talk about. So if you're new here, my name is Jocelyn. I'm a goal leader within doTERRA. I have a wellness community all over the world, and I love to share these little wellness tips with you guys. I Instagram over on Bergamo and Balance, and same on Facebook. I'm streaming on my personal page on Facebook and over on my YouTube channel and Instagram. Okay. Okay, so we've been doing these daily health habits challenge for all of January. We're on day 20, and today we're going to talk about goal setting. Okay, so often, especially in the beginning, January hits, we're like, damn, we're gonna set these goals, we're gonna lose all this weight, we're gonna go to the gym every single day, like do all this stuff that's just like massive, right? We start massive and we just set ourselves up for failure, right? And we feel super shit that we like made these goals and we failed because we're a failure, right? So comment or give me some hearts if you can resonate with this, even on the replay, you guys. Because it's a real thing. So today we're going to talk about goal setting in a real way. Okay, so goal setting, what we do, make it attainable, make it realistic, make it clear, and I'm going to show you how you can actually rate I am statements. You give yourself a time frame, we'll talk more about this, and then you hold yourself accountable. So even when we're writing it out, when we're creating this contract with ourselves, we literally are signing it, okay? So you're holding yourself accountable. So goal setting. We don't want to create these massive goals straight out of the gates. Like, for example, if you think about like, I want $10,000 in my bank account. Like that seems a little bit of a stretch for some of us, right? So that's not where we want to start. And I want to kind of compare it back to what we do every single day. So whether we know it or not, we're making goals every single day, right? Maybe it's a goal to go to the grocery store. We got to go and get this grocery list. Or maybe it's a goal to take the kids out or whatever. Hey, Anise. Those are little micro goals. So this is something that I actually talked to my team about, when was it? Just like the other night, maybe it was even last night. But I felt like it really resonated, and I feel like a lot of people can hear this. Oh, hey, Colette. Colette was at the goal setting workshop when was that? On Sunday as well. So here we are. It's kind of just like a review for you, but as you're jumping in, say hi. So yeah, so we make these micro goals every single day, even though we don't even think about it, but we don't really think twice about it. Like we do these things, we achieved these micro goals, but we don't give ourselves credit. And then, but even when we, create bigger goals and reach our goals, we often still don't give ourselves credit. We don't have this like, we're always like, what's next? What's next? There's no like end result. Okay. So let's a little bit of like walkthrough about how like goal setting kind of works. And I believe it's like super connected to the law of attraction. So law of attraction basically means the law of belief. Okay, so if you don't believe you're worthy of having $10,000 or reaching your goal of whatever that may be, the reality is you're not gonna get there. Okay, so if you're not feeling like you're worthy of having this goal or reaching this goal, you're not going to get there. And for some people, I'm going to say like some people manage to reach certain goals faster than others. We all have baggage, we all have issues or whatever, but some of us are like have these extra bags, I'm going to say, okay? And it's impacted us on a subconscious level, and we need to recreate those patterns. Okay, we need to literally just like work a little bit harder than some other people. So we don't like drop the comparison, whatever, it's your own journey. But yeah, this is how we can do it. So stay in the receiving mode. Okay, we set these goals in an I am statement like we talked about in the beginning. So I'm going to give you a guideline as to how that if you're watching the replay or whatever, I encourage you to get a piece of paper out and write this out as I tell you. But ways that we want to stay in the receiving mode are maybe you set reminders on your phone. So receiving mode basically means is like when we write out our goals, we set them out in like I am statements. Okay, let's just do this right now and then we'll come back into this. So basically you're gonna write down, it is today's date, whatever the date is. What is the date today? January 28th. Okay, you're gonna write down this date, and by the end goal date, whatever date you wanna make that, whatever you want it to be, write that date in, okay? And then you say, I, whatever your name is, have blah, 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 okay? Or I am, like da, 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 whatever you wanna say, but this is how you do it, okay? So you're not like, I am going to have $10,000 in my bank account. You're actually like, I have, or I am, whatever you want to be, okay? So that's how you do it. And then the next part that you're going to write is I feel. So how are you going to feel when you hit that goal, or when you get to that goal, right? Because it's that connection, right? The law of attraction is saying it's the law of belief. It's the feeling behind the purpose that you have to figure out in order to actually reach that goal, okay? In order to be open and in the receiving mode to actually even receive it. Because if you write down on a piece of paper and say, I am worthy of having $10,000, and then you don't believe that, if you put it down and you're like, you write it down and you're like, God, I'm like never gonna have $10,000 in my bank account. Like that's just sending mixed messages and you're never gonna have $10,000 in your bank account. But in order to do the work and kind of fast track into having $10,000 in your bank account, you get into the energy of feeling how would life change if you had $10,000 in your bank account, right? Like, what would you do? How would you carry yourself? How would you feel? What would your house look like? Whatever, like, just like get really clear on what that is and what that feeling is. And that is what it's going to connect you into the feeling of receiving that goal, okay? Don't get me wrong, you got to do the work. You got to backtrack, and this is what I did with my team last night, is we actually worked backwards as to, okay, I want to be, this certain rank by this certain time, but how am I going to get there? And you literally lay out the framework and the path as to how you're going to get there. And you do the work, but you have to stay in the receiving mode and in the energy of feeling the end result of maybe it's having $10,000 in your bank account in order for you to actually get there, okay? So yeah, I encourage you to write that down on a piece of paper, get that somewhere where you see it, and every single day you look at it, okay? Some people watching might have heard this before, but actually it's Jim Carrey. I'm just reading from my notes. In 1985, Jim Carrey wrote himself a check for $10 million, okay? And he put on there, he said, acting services rendered, dating it 10 years in the future for Thanksgiving 1995, and he kept it in his wallet. Okay, he kept it in his wallet, he reviewed it, he saw it all the time, he remembered it was in his wallet. Okay, that's the energy of receiving. He's like, I've got this $10,000 check in my wallet. And then just before Thanksgiving 1995, he found out he was going to be making $10 million for the movie Dumb and Dumber. So it's like, some of you might be watching being like, this is crazy. Like, I don't even believe this at all, but that's totally cool. you do you. But yeah. So some ways that we can stay in the receiving mode are to set reminders on the phone. Like maybe you're like, and like you guys, it doesn't have to be a massive goal. Maybe it's like your goal is like, I am a peaceful mother, or like, like I am a happy, loving mom, or you know what I mean? If you tend to like have like this hot temper with your kids or short temper or whatever, that's a goal. Like, and maybe you set it to like, okay, by this weekend or whatever, I'm not like, this is my goal is I am this, right? And then you hold yourself accountable, and every time you feel that trigger maybe heading south, this is one thing that my friend Nicola said the other day at the workshop. The only way to stop a train from going down a hill is to stop it before it starts. Okay, that just like hit home for me, because often when we're like, oh, blowing up at the kids or whatever, we're just like losing it, or like just like that one trigger sets us off and deters us from our goal. Often it snowballs, right? It is up to us to make that conscious decision to stop it, like before it continues on. Just literally stop it and come back into alignment with your goal, with your whatever that may be, okay? Does that make sense? So set reminders on the phone, like whatever that may be, whatever your goal is, and have it reminding you, you know, throughout the day that you're like, okay, come back. Am I on? Is this like, am I in line with my goal? Am I on the right track? And what I'm doing right now, is this serving me in the long run, or is this making me or moving me towards where I want to go? Meditation is another one. You can visualize, you can kind of get into the feeling of receiving what that is, right? Get into vibration, or whatever you want to call it, the frequency of having $10,000 in your bank account, or whatever it is. So meditation, one that I love to use is scent memory. So using our oils, our limbic brain like stores memories and emotions like nothing else, okay? So that is the place of our brain where like memories and emotions are stored and determined. So creating like a scent memory is really awesome when you're goal setting. Hey, Haley. So for example, maybe you create a, you know, an anchor blend that really aligns you to, if your goal is having $10,000 in your bank account, then that feeling of having $10,000 in your bank account, that's what that smell smells like, okay? You're like, you smell it and it brings you into that place. Does that make sense, you guys? So maybe you create like this awesome blend. If you use oils, this is something that we did at the workshop on Sunday, and that every time you smell it or every time you apply it, you're like, I am your goal, or I have, you know, your goal, or whatever. I have $10,000 in my bank account. And you don't just say it, you actually get into like actual vibrational alignment with that thing, okay? I will say another thing here, another way to stay in the receiving mode, or get back into the receiving mode, is EFT tapping. I've talked about this before on my previous health habits challenge, but EFT is basically like reprogramming your subconscious mind using different acupressure points on the body, and you're tapping. It's literally known as tapping, but you're using affirmations that set your soul on fire, whatever you want to say. It's like they get you into that vibrational alignment with feeling how you want to feel, okay? EFT is really cool. And again, I'll tag Jackie McDonald here, but Jackie McDonald has a lot of free stuff on her page. I'm personally in her tapping membership, and it's a great way to start the day, especially if you have baggage around being worthy, right? And a lot of us do. That's nothing to be ashamed of at all, but it's time to move past that, and it's time to grow and up level, okay? And EFT is an awesome and relatively easy way to do that, because we are literally tapping on our body in various places and stating affirmations. Okay, so we're reprogramming the subconscious mind, which is so cool. It's amazing. Okay, and then lastly, we reward ourselves. When we reach these goals, like, we reward ourselves. Instead of, like, the destination is momentary. Literally, it's only, the destination is only for a second, right? We're there, okay, what's next? This is our like tendency is to be like, what's the next thing? Moving on, done that, now next. But it's actually the journey that matters. So unless we feel how we want to feel when we have, I'm going to use this example again, $10,000 in our bank account, and we feel into that energy of having that, and we enjoy the journey, and we get there, and we congratulate ourselves massively, or like, yeah, it's really important to reward ourselves for sure. Even in small goals, like, oh great, my goal was to take the kids to kinder gym today, and I did it. I took them to kinder gym. Like, I deserve this afternoon coffee, or whatever it is. So whatever way you want to reward yourself. But anyway, that was my little blurb on goal setting. Feel free to comment below, share anything that comes to you. If you find this helpful, please share. If you don't follow me already on social media, go over to Balance and Bergamo and Balance, and check it out. Yeah, and I'll be back tomorrow, you guys, for number 20. Okay, thanks for watching, you guys, and have a good night. Go set those goals. Go write that out and set a goal. Make it attainable, make it realistic, and hold yourself accountable, because nobody else is going to hold you accountable except for you. Okay, so have a good night. Bye.